All right.
Ooh, that's echoey.
There's something happening.
I still don't see it on the app.
Yeah, why is that? Can you hear me? That
Yeah,
actually,
it's an echo.
is this still an echo? I'm not hearing it. See, yours has it, because that one doesn't have an echo. Check that out. Hello? Yeah, yours still has it. Why are we echoing? Hello?
Yep.
Hello? You're good.
Yeah.
Everything.
You're still echoing.
Hello?
Yep.
No? Talk?
Hear you though.
Oh, there we go. So, am I still an echo? I am still an echo.
Is that supposed to be live?
Yeah. And it's not
It
live?
hasn't gone up.
Give me a second.
the net by probably 3-4 inches, and
Yeah.
if that thing would have went in, that probably would have been it right there.
Yep. Yeah.
That would have been the game.
So now we're doing for everyone to. Can you hear us now? Sorry. Yeah, a little bit better. Sorry, we were a little low there. I think should be a good game. I think hopefully John gets here sooner than later. Because right now you just have me and Justin. and Clint. Sorry, Clint. Clint's looking at me like I'm crazy. So yeah, had a couple of friends officiating this game with John's friends.
Yeah, I saw that down there, and I'm sure he'll make comments as soon as you get here. We'll try to make some adjustments to the resolution here so it can clean up the stream.
Yeah.
We are trying to stream here at the highest resolution we can. So we'll maybe go from a 1080 to a 720, and if we have to go down to 480, we can get to the game.
yeah, it's going to be a Peanuts game, or like they like to do. Is it The Simpsons, or I forgot what they do? Let's see what we can do. We're going to keep it live. We're going to turn off. So, but hopefully, we come back ready to go. All right, guys, we're back. We're going to miss with it. We actually went down in
5-6 years.
Yeah.
We'd hate to go down to 480 where it's going to be that'd be like 10 years ago trying to.
Right. Yeah, I think, I think maybe we could, at least you'll see the game. So before we get too deep into the stats or anything, hopefully we could get John in to help out.
Yeah.
Everything sounds good?
I can hear you.
Can you hear us, Clint? Okay, so right now we're at 720p. Hopefully we could get this to go live shortly with the right crew.
All right, welcome in. We are here live at the Fergus Community Center. My name is John McDonald, joined as always with sidekick Justin Neppel. Coach, any thoughts on day one?
A lot of positivity, a little bit to learn from. I think tighten up that D zone coverage a bit still. Again, you're giving up 4 goals. You want to tighten that number. I think the Blades scored 4. That was good from an offensive standpoint. I still don't think their forecheck is running the best yet. Not sustaining zone time enough on the offensive side.
Yeah, so some positive things, but also Tigers today, and a rematch of last year. They played again last year, the holiday tournament. The only difference this year would be the addition of Fargo Shanley taking the place of Becker Big Lake. The Tiger team here today.
Yeah, they I didn't get to watch the game last night, but they took it to Fergus last night and beat them 6-1. There's a lot of that plays into a 6-1 loss, but yeah, it was. I don't think that was a game Fergus was expecting.
No, as we see a shot in on Gilbertson early, first shot of the game. Tough start here for the Blades, not the way they wanted to start, but this is a potent Tiger team, and like I said, Fergus Falls found that out last night. It was a 1-1 or 2-1 game, and then by some account in the third, there was a major penalty called on Fergus and just total domination in the third period. So a scrappy, a physical team. I think you're going to see a physical game. There was quite a few matching roughing minors last night towards the end of the game. So you'll see a scrappy Tiger team here. We'll see if the Blades can match some of their intensity. And the Blades are going to have to get on the scoreboard today, obviously, as they're already down 1-0. Albert Lea, the home team today in the whites, as they go D-to-D in their own end. Good stick check by Jackson Lopez to turn the puck over inside the blue. Kai McDonald's going to shoot it in, and Lopez will be the first in the end wall by Brushert. Puck now played up out of the Blade zone to neutral ice, where the Tigers will get control and shoot it back down. Matt Peterson behind his own net. And dump the puck down into the Blades' near side corner. Jack Ekren will play it up to puck played back through neutral, intercepted by Peterson, and steered back into the Tiger zone. Blades don't play the puck wisely there. Brendan Ritter let that go through, even though it went all the way to too many men. Now played up to Ritter. He does get a touch on it, and he'll be the first man there as the puck comes clear down behind Albert Lea's net. Back in by the Blades. Easton Neppel on the puck. Now to Casti. Off the wall. Peterson's going to pinch to interrupt the play, and the Blades.
So far with Matt Peterson, he's definitely trailing that guy.
Neppel puts his man into the boards hard. No call. Surprisingly, not that I thought it should have been, but sometimes we'll see that called if it's maybe trying to match what they saw last year out of Albert Lea, as they were physical last year as well. Puck cleared out. Thought that hit a rafter, but just evades it. Luke Craig plays it off that 17, Jacob Kolker. And a little action here behind the play. Yeah. Brushert's dumped by Brua.
Yeah, that might be as advertised. There was over 10 penalties rung up yesterday in the game, and only 1 in the second period. So there was a lot of penalty action in the first and the third between Fergus and Albert Lea.
I think a lot of it was late in the third. Played up the half wall. Turned back by McDonald. And Finison will be behind his own net for the Tigers. He has a little bit of trouble with the Lopez forecheck. And now Tigers come away with the puck through neutral. Blades have men back, and Tigers are forced to dump it into the corner. Craig is there for the Blades. And off wall. Now McDonald gets control, and he's going to chip to neutral before it's dumped back in. Off of Hoffman's glove and behind the Blades net. He has some trouble in the corner here. And it's worked up to along that half wall. Tigers will control in the Blade zone. Centering attempt controlled by Spinks. He skates away over the Tiger line. Pulls up, looks for help. And the puck is scrummed along the half wall just inside the Tiger zone. Now it's turned away. Number 2, Drew Alvey will control. Brewer plays D to D for Peterson. He tries to hit his brother up ice, but that doesn't connect. And the Blades will regroup. Now it comes to Ekron at neutral ice. Good Tiger forecheck through the neutral zone will turn the Blades back. As Peterson circles in his own end, now he leaves for Brewer. Brewer plays one hard off the glass, and that'll get out to neutral, where it'll be controlled by the Tigers. Get that over the red. That's Ethan Hauser. Drop pass for 15, Seth Scholl, and he shot it high and wide. Melpo first man on the puck. Puck, long lead pass up to neutral. That's Scholl again, stripped off of him. Before it's intercepted at neutral by Brewer and dumped back in. Gets to Ritter. Ritter's centering attempt is broken up. Brewer gloves the puck down at neutral ice. Blades will get control, regroup with Peterson with the puck. Hits Cassie in the boots, and he kicks it neatly over to Ritter. Ritter down the far side, or excuse me, the near side, shoots far side, and it goes wide. It's going to come all the way to Charlie Ekron in his own zone. He takes a hit from Scholl. Now will be played behind the Blades, not by Kolker. He reverses. That's 12, Ethan Finnison blocking that shot. Now puck's played to McDonald. And he leaves it for Brushard, and we're going to get a penalty, I believe.
Net's off, it looks like.
Net's off.
Yeah, maybe just a play to the net, just bump the net just a little bit.
So Casey, I think I'm saying old. Saying that right?
That's how I would say it.
Yeah. Showing some, he's a scoring threat there. He's got the game's first goal and only goal, and then you could just see him kind of slice and dice there through on his way to the net.
Yeah, he's shifty. He's going side to side, and that shot was a legit shot. It was a nice release and picked the corner.
Mm-hmm. Hoffman rims it around for Lopez. Gets through him and will come all the way back to neutral. Finnison, D to D. Now back to Kolker in the middle. That's going to be offside. Blades will control while the Tigers tag up. They'll restart in their own end. Hoffman with the puck. Feathers up for Lopez, who gets a touch on it. Comes all the way down. And the Tigers try to bump right back out of the zone. Now it's controlled by Balfi. Balfi over the line, leaves, and we're going to get an offside call as the Tigers were in early.
Yeah, that was a blessing in disguise because it was a 3-on-1. We did have a D guy hopping over the wall right there to make it a 3-on-2, but we don't want to see a 3-on-1 right now. But nice game so far. The Blades so far is playing some pretty disciplined forecheck, and looks like they're finding their guy and shutting things down right now.
I think one of the things that you had noted yesterday with their game plan where they were having trouble was coming out of their own zone with control. It looks like they've been doing a better job of that today. I think we've seen from the Tigers as we see a turnover at the line, right onto a Tiger stick. Centering attempt, shot in the net as the rebound was laying right there. A bad turnover inside the line.
Yeah, as we just say that they're doing a pretty good job of getting the puck out, then we get the lame duck pass at the blue line that doesn't exit out of the zone, and then that's what happens when you can't get the puck out in that spot. Everybody's toes are pointing the wrong direction, and really you just need to get to the net and crash the net. That's what they did.
So yeah, you can play 9 minutes of good hockey and one bad turnover and it's in your net. Again, just when the Blades kind of starting to get some of their feet underneath them and get to their game plan, as we see a turnover right to Cassidy's stick, shoots wide. I don't know how he shot that wide. He was literally in the crease. Had the goalie moving to his right. That would have been a puck played back up to neutral. Controlled by the Tigers. They'll get the red and dump it back in. Luke Craig will be back there for the Blades. Now Eck gains the zone. Not deeply, though, as it'll be chipped right back out. Tigers like to transition quickly. They get out of their zone in a hurry, don't they?
Yeah, they're not going to spend time in their D zone if they don't want to or have to.
Locked up with Matt Peterson. Now it'll come all the way around where Brownlee's there for the Tigers. His shot goes back behind into the far corner. Casty control. Nice pass all the way over to Ritter. Peterson jumping up into the rush to help out on the forecheck as the Blades were changing. Centering play comes all the way to Lopez. catches him off guard. He's still able to control the puck. Centers for Brushert, but that's broken up by Brownlee. Now dump back down. And the Tigers will get the clear to neutral. Dump it back in, and the Blades tag up. Control behind the Tiger net. Shot back out to neutral. There's one area where I think the Blades can take advantage. The Tigers are content to kind of just fire it out of their zone.
It's one of those things where they don't want to be stuck in their own end, and they're okay giving the puck back in the neutral zone. And if they can catch them off guard on that, and you saw that maybe we weren't going fast enough up the ice, but we're using the with a guy going up high, he might catch him sleeping a little bit.
So Sternhagen walks right through Brushert there on the faceoff and almost had a scoring attempt, but it was and jump up in the rush and take the Lopez pass. He chips the puck, and he'll continue on the rush. Now the puck's rimmed to Lopez. He tries to lead for Brushert. He makes a nice play at the line to hold, walks down into the corner. Lopez walking out, looking, rounds the net. Now he's going to lead for Akron at the point. Akron to the middle, nothing there. Throws it back down in the corner for McDonald. He leaves for Lopez. Lopez takes a hit, spins off a check. Comes up the half wall, leaves for Akron. Akron back for Brushert. He tries to leave for McDonald. And he'll come together with Hauser. And those two will battle before the Tigers are able to skate away. They have some trouble through neutral. Brua still with the puck. Leaves. Continues onto the net. Shot goes behind the net. All throws it towards the net. And the Blades will control. Now the Tigers behind the Blades net. Centering attempt. Doesn't go. Comes back for Peterson. As Akron and that's blocked. Brua throws it in the corner. Centering attempt doesn't go. Akron blocked that attempt. Make a pass to the blue line. And the Blades will dump it back in. Comes to Nepp on the dump. Tip play at Casti right in the front. He's had two good scoring looks here in the first. In the Shanley game. Puck dumped in for Ulf. He centers. That's broken up. Ritter with the puck. Ran out of room. And it's turned back in the Blade zone. Brewer now in the corner. Chips around for Ritter. Ritter comes down to get it. Centering attempt is behind the intended target. Joel Ritter steps up. Intercepts a pass. Over the line. It's 2-on-1 with Spinks. Shots well high over the net. Blades generating some offense here, which is something we probably didn't see a ton of last year in this game.
No.
I thought Albert Lea really dominated.
Yep. Yeah, you're correct. That was all Albert Lea from start to finish.
Something we didn't talk about yesterday. I guess we didn't talk about anything yesterday. Well, we did. Nobody heard it.
There's a lot of talking.
Was the disaster that the tournament was last year from an illness standpoint, as we see a centering attempt come right out front. Gilbertson had it well covered, and Ritter will come away with the puck. Now he gives to Brewer. Plays offside as Spinks was over the line. Brewer just shot the puck into the corner on a hard rim anyway. But a lot of illness last year. I don't think the Blades were even anywhere near full strength. They had many players and coaches out of the lineup.
Yeah, I think we only had one coach on the bench the whole tournament. They took turns taking days off.
And even broadcasters were sick last year. Maybe not for the tournament itself, but shortly thereafter. Lots of illness around the holidays last year.
It was the plague going through Wapton Breckenridge.
Hale played with 102.
We were just informed the goalie had a pretty high fever for the game.
So that's not offside. Oh, it is blown down. I thought so. If the Blades bring the puck back into their end, is that still offside in high school?
Yeah, I thought that would have been a non-call right there as well, because it went off one of the Blades skaters' boot and went back in the end. So I think that would have been a good non-call, but I don't know the high school league rules well enough. Maybe that is the correct call.
Puck play D-to-D from the Blades. Now up to Peterson. His dump attempt doesn't quite get deep enough, and a clearing attempt is played back into the Tiger zone. Xander Klinert off the wall. Tries a shot. That doesn't get through. Tigers skate away. Long shot on Gilbertson. Steered to the corner. Hoffman with some trouble behind the net. Now he hits Clinert. Clinert back through the middle, off of one Ekron stick and onto the other. Jack Ekron dumps it down. Played by the goaltender Hansen, as Peterson would have been there first for the Blades, and now the Tigers with control. Tyler Balfe reverses back to Brua, and the Tigers are out of their end. Across the red, they're going to skate wide. That's Scholl. His centering attempt goes nowhere. As the two 10s are tangled up right now. And Charlie Ekron breaks away. Over the line, fires one. Nice save by Hansen before Brua put Ekron to the floor. And he's up the ice, looking to break. Has trouble with the long lead pass. Can he get there? Centering attempt incoming behind the intended target. And now Lopez will have it. He goes back across. Centering play for Peterson jumping in the rush as we're starting to see some end-to-end hockey all of a sudden. Brua's hit. Gives the puck up to McDonald. He kicks it to Lopez. Lopez circling. Got a man streaking. Doesn't give it to him. Turns and fires the last minute. That's high and wide. Puck almost bounces out front. McDonald controls. Center tip. Back to Lopez. Shot. Big save by Hansen. On the best look the Blades have had this period. Now it's Brua. Cuts to the inside. Turns. Nifty pass to his backhand. That's all. Skating around the net. He looks to center. He's well defended. McDonald tries for, I believe that's Cassidy. He's getting held. No call. He got a touch on, so there'll be no icing. Now he takes his man hard into the corner. Lopez is there to help him out. Tigers skate away. They're going to flip it to neutral. That'll be controlled by Hoffman as we have 44 to go in the period. Luke Craig, backhand flip. He's going to keep on chase and takes his man hard into the end wall. With Casti there to assist. Now Craig comes away with it, looking to center. He's taken down. Still giving the controlling the puck. Gets it to Casti. Casti taking a check with 21 on the clock. Now it's hooked up to Hoffman. He dumps it back down. Got a man behind him. That's going to go for an ice.
Nice offensive zone draw here at the end of the period.
So Luke Craig doing some good work behind the net, continuing on the rush there, putting pressure on the puck and tying it up behind the net. Almost got it to Casti, who could get it out front.
Yeah, I mean, Cassie's looking sharp so far this game. Nice little shift there by Luke Craig. And a great shift by the top line there, the Jackson and Larry and Kai line.
Puck rimmed around by Hoffman. Nepp will be the first man there. He sticks his man into the wall and retains the puck. Considers to Ritter, who controls, and that'll do it for the first. So not a bad period. Blades down 2-0. Really just two or three looks out of the Tigers. They just happened to put two of them away.
Yeah, and I think they're really on the rush, right? Except for the turnover at the blue line, but the one was on a rush where, a number 9 slipped his D guy and was able to roof it. And then we had a turnover at the blue line. You clean up those two things there, and you got a 0-0 game.
Yeah, really I don't know that you can fault Gilbertson on either. Casey all with a nice play, and like you said, kind of a perfectly placed shot, far corner. And then really did have much of an option there on the second one, as it was a bang play right in front of the net.
Yeah.
But he was good when called upon. But the Blades pushed back. They kind of counterpunched there and had 2 or 3 good looks to close out the period. A couple of them come from Casti on the breakaway there, although it wasn't clean. He had a guy draped on him. But then some of the cycling plays that were being made by the first and second line there late in the period, a couple nice looks.
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do, because judging by the first period here, they're allowing a lot of that hanging on to people and hits to go, which I like. I think that's good. But when you do that, you're not going to have that high skill finesse game. It's going to be that gritty, we're going to cycle the puck and try to get them skating out of position in order to put a dirty one in.
I think as you look, too, you can kind of start to see that Albert Lee's looking to get a guy out early, and they're looking to kind of chip the wall. I believe, too, we saw a lot of that last year, and the Blades struggled with it. Just playing, they kind of play a real simple game.
Yep.
They have some talented players. They can make plays, but they also, like we mentioned earlier, they don't want to be in their end, and they're looking to just get the puck out of their end.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you get scored on when the puck is in your end, so it's a smart defensive strategy, but turning the puck over to the other team every single time isn't a great strategy either, but that's how they play, and they're successful, and they got guys that can go up and down the ice. So, I mean, they're just playing to some of the strengths that I think they have. They know what to do when they enter in the blue line. You can see that on the rush. So, I mean, they're just playing to some of the strengths that they have on their lineup, and that's good strategy by Albert Lea.
Yeah, so their first line, I believe, is 17, 9, and 10. And so number 10, Drake Sternhagen, 10 goals, 14 assists for 24 points. Casey Alvey with 9 goals, 14 assists for 23 points. And then Jacob Kolker, their big centerman there, 5 goals, 11 assists for 16 points all in 10 games for those guys. And then you have Zayden Brew on the blue line with 9 and 9 for 18. So they have some guys who can score. And then after that, it falls off pretty quickly. Persig with 7 goals, but then after that, it's 2, 1, 2, 2, and then really that's it. Yeah. So a lot of their scoring coming from that top line. Today being no different. Did you have a goal recap for us there?
I only caught the first goal, which was scored by number 9. I didn't even catch a name on it. I tried grabbing it. I couldn't quite hear it over the intercom.
Yeah, so the first one there was scored by number 9, Casey Alvey, with assist to number 6, Fletcher Persig. And I didn't quite catch the second one as well, so we'll see if we can't check that. No scoring for the Blades. 5 shots apiece for each team. 2-0 Tigers after 1. This will be a good game. Like I said, the Blades didn't just kind of lay down after the first goal. They punched back, and then Tigers got another one, but some of the best chances for the Blades came after that second goal. So hopefully they'll look to regroup, clean up some of the mistakes, and come back and try to get on the board here in the second.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're talking to themselves about down in the locker room is, hey, we can play with these guys. Let's come out and let's give them our best push here in the second intermission.
So just to recap yesterday, Blades ended up tying Fargo Shanley in what was a really good game, a real back and forth game. Blades had 4 leads, couldn't extend, so they got the first goal, and then Shanley would come back and tie every time. And the final one, Blades scored with about 2 minutes to go in the game on a nice tip play from Matthew Peterson, deflected by Jackson Lopez. And I thought that might be it, but the extra attacker goal was scored by Shanley with about a minute to go.
Yeah.
So some resilient play from Fargo Shanley, and then I believe Shanley won in the shootout, although I guess it doesn't really count.
The shootout, I think, is just for fun for the parents, for the kids. They like that type of stuff. So, but yeah, the official score goes down as a tie for that game. And no, it was a good game. I thought it was a step forward for the squad. There's still things that they need to pick up on and do better on. But when you start looking at all the facets of the game, they're doing at this point, but they're doing better at all of them.
Yeah, so positive momentum. Certainly the Shanley game was a big improvement after the River Lakes game.
Yes.
Yeah, when they the nightcap saw Albert Lea and Fergus Falls play, and again we kind of recapped that a little bit. I think it was a 2-1 game after 2, and then the Tigers exploded for 4 goals in the third period.
Yeah.
Fergus 16-2 in the third period.
Yeah, it was pretty lopsided from what I recall.
So, and then tonight's nightcap will have Fergus Falls against Shanley, which will be an interesting game for both teams.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how they play out. That'll be a good understanding of what we could expect tomorrow from that squad as well as this game. Shanley's still trying to figure some stuff out on their end, and so is Fergus. Fergus is a very young team. I think when talking to some of the Fergus guys yesterday, their whole starting lineup are underclassmen or younger than seniors. They don't have a single senior on their
kind of on the rebuild for their program. And some young players in the lineup, and that's always hard. It doesn't matter how good you are. It's always a big jump from Bantam. Transitioning into high school, and like you said, it's just some growing pains there typically for any program, any player. And so that'll be good. It'll be interesting to see how Shanley responds too. I know that, like I said, I think that's their game yesterday, even though they didn't win, just something to rally around, being able to come back 4 times, especially late with the extra attacker. I think it gave you some momentum.
Wanting to beat Fergus here, I think they're one win like us, four losses and a tie on the season for them. So, obviously, at this point in the season, you want to put those They're all new. They're new this year, right? They dissolved their co-op. They formed all the cooperatives with the parochial schools up in Fargo-Moorhead. And so they got a new look this year, and they're trying to find their way forward. And their inaugural season is probably having some challenges like we expected because there's not the same pipeline of kids. And they got a different coach and all that other stuff. But, yeah, they're still trying to find their way.
Well, it should be a good one. I want to say I heard that Shanley had kind of dominated Fergus in a preseason scrimmage, but you generally can't take too much away from a preseason scrimmage. You got a lot of different guys in the lineup. But so it'll be interesting. Let's see how both teams respond. And then tomorrow, action on New Year's Eve day. We'll see the Blades play Fergus in the nightcap. I believe that's in the afternoon, though. That's at
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. And then Shanley and Albert Lea will play in the morning, so Albert Lea can probably get on the road and enjoy their New Year's Eve. It is a long drive, yeah. So kudos to those guys for making the trip 2 years in a row. And another good year at the Fergus Holiday Tournament.
Yeah, this is a great tournament. I forgot about this from last year, but the guys got done with the game, and they're all the Shanley kids and the Breck Wap kids are going upstairs to eat some barbecue ribs and mac and cheese, I believe, is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to and thanks Fergus Falls for putting this on, treating the guys right, and the fans are having a blast. I don't think anybody was. Everybody loved. At least at the Shanley Breck Wap game yesterday, they loved the game that was there. It was entertaining. The refs did great. Players were, playing their hearts out, and it was fun.
Agreed. Yeah, it's always a fun time. This time of year is just kind of a good time for high school hockey in general. Yeah. The holiday tournaments are always good. Like you said, a nice tournament put on by Fergus Falls here. And it's something about the 3-3, right? It's kind of fun,
Yeah.
You got a game tomorrow, and you get to watch the team maybe, or see some highlights or whatever. And so you're kind of, even though it's not a true tournament, just kind of a round robin, but still kind of fun playing 3-3, especially during the middle of the day, afternoon game, and then a nightcap. A lot of buzz around the barn. There was a good crowd here last night, so a lot of fun this time of year to be part of high school hockey.
I know that's probably what most people feel like they're ditching work right now just to come to a high school hockey game, and it's kind of fun to do that, right? It'd be like ditching school back in the day. And
you bet. Well, that'll about do it here. I think we'll just take a short break as both teams will be coming back on the ice here in just a bit. And we again thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all our sponsors. If we can get those on here. I guess we don't have those queued up. I'll have to talk to the engineer, T-Boss. A big thanks to Tony Lopez for...
I think he's probably getting Jackson's skates sharpened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he might need to. He had a couple falls there in the first.
Blew a tire a handful of times there.
But, yeah, Tony has been working tirelessly to get this game on the air. Some troubles yesterday with some internet in the rink here, and that's why we weren't able to get everything squared away. But Tony, he doesn't give up. He just keeps plugging away and was able to get some things figured out so the good people who can't make it over were able to watch online. And so big kudos to both him and Clint for grinding away to get this operation on the air. Because if it was up to me, there wouldn't be much happening. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. right. Back here, second period action. Blades are going to control the opening draw. Comes right to Hoffman, and he's going to shoot it down behind the Albert Lea net. Before Ritter turns the puck over, back inside the line, gets control, goes down to Casti, and that's through him, and Brewer control for the Tigers. Chipped up the wall, but not out, and that'll go to the far side, where Ethan Hauser plays it to the line. Shot on by Hoffman, steered away. Right to Neppel. He's bumped off the puck. Ritter comes in to help. Puck played to Ekron, and he dumps it softly, but that'll be controlled by Bruo, who tries to flip it over top of him. He gloves that down, takes it into the corner. Hoffman plays it up the wall. That comes to Neppel. He has trouble controlling. Sneaky shot there from Bruo. Almost got by Gilbertson. Just went outside the post, as I think there was a high screen on Gilbertson at the last minute. As Lopez will play the puck for the Blades, but he gives it away. And there's Albert Lea trying to sneak behind the Blades defense again. His number 10, Sternhagen, Drake Sternhagen, was back behind Matthew Peterson. McDonald takes his man hard into the end wall. And then he bumps Sternhagen off the puck, and he'll control on the half wall. Rusher dumps his man. That's Sternhagen down to the ice. And the puck will be controlled by the Blades. Comes to Peterson at the line, gets through him. He'll drag it out and then flip it in. Blades got to tag up. Lopez is first man to the puck, controlled by Brua. He tries to chip off the wall, touch on it, and that'll come down, no icing. Thought they touched it on the wrong side of the line, though. McDonald leaves for Brushert, now he leaves for McDonald. He's gonna skate the puck back around. Tries for Lopez, that gets through him, and Blades are gonna be going on the power play, as there was a incident behind the play there where Fletcher Piercig dumped Matt Peterson in front of the net.
I think a lot of that happened in the first period, too. There was quite a few times where the puck left the play, and behind the play, you see a guy in a black jersey on the ice right next to a guy on the white jersey. Mm-hmm. So I think, I don't know if one of the coaches maybe made a mention to one of the officials, but they caught that one.
I think that one was pretty obvious, as I caught it out of the corner of my eye. I wasn't even looking that way, and the official was standing right in the corner. As we'll see the Blades power play on the ice for the first time. As Neppel's going to control the puck at neutral ice. He gives it back to Peterson. Now Peterson to McDonald. He chips past Hauser and gets it in deep. Puck will be played to the line, but not out, where it's controlled by Lopez. He gives up to Peterson. Long shot, straight in on Hansen, who controls easily.
Just a little bit that I caught. I went on Fergus Falls live stream this morning to watch Mark Johnson give the call, and it appeared that Albert Lea's power penalty kill is quite aggressive, like that right there.
Neppel gives the puck away. Breakaway for the Tigers. Poke check, aggressive poke check by Gilbertson. As it was number 17, Kolker, who's a goal scorer for the Tigers on the break. The two men backtracking hard on him. Peterson and Neppel were back. As the puck is going to come around to the Blades. McDonald, he gives it to Lopez. Kolker's right in his face. So Kolker not giving any room at the line. Already turned over two pucks. Now Brewer will control. He'll rag the puck. Soft flip. And Sternhagen steps through one man, almost two, before the puck was poked away from him. That's offside, as the puck left the zone, but the Tigers didn't, and they'll let it go as Neppel has control. He's jammed up at the line, but is able to step through a check. Sternhagen strips the puck off of him, turns and fires, hits his own man right in the back, almost the back of the head there. That's Olve, the goal scorer. Soft chip left for him. He's gonna be the first guy there. As you were right, aggressive kill here out of the Tigers, giving the Blades some problems getting set up. Lopez back through the neutral zone, cuts to the inside. Gives it to Alve, and he's on a break if he can get going. Good stick check by Josh Hoffman to break that up. Ekron reverses to Hoffman. Brua steps up, gains control of the pucks, walks in, Dangle moves, backhand goal.
Yeah, a little too cute high in the zone. This is something where I think the Blades penalty or power play may want to look at trying to establish down low. especially the way these guys play. They're just going to be putting pressure on the up high. The umbrella that the Blades typically did, Fergus did the exact same power play, and they gave Fergus fits the whole time.
So sloppy play in the neutral zone and inside their own zone by the Blades. Brua, a defenseman on the PK, saw an opening, jumped on the puck. Some weak stick checks from the Blades, and he just walked through 2 guys and then the goalie. Gilbertson kind of hung out to dry there, and the forehand backhand, it's in the net for a shorthanded breakaway goal almost. So it's Brua from Alve, and a shot and a goal, and that's I believe Michael Peterson.
Mikey Peterson.
And that's the Blades needed that one after the shorty. Just a little spin play right in front of the net. Peterson just spun around, fired, hit Hansen on the pad as he was dropping into the butterfly, and off his pad and into the net.
Nice. I missed it because I was trying to catch the play call by the announcer here at Fergus Falls Community Center, but they needed that. Just think if they could have been able to not giving up that goal, it'd be a 2-1 game right now.
So shot 7-8 in favor of the Blades. And puck's going to come all the way down. Icing's waved. Blades putting their first unit back on the ice. McDonald, Brushert, and Lopez. Puck played up to the line. Peterson shot on, tipped right in the glove down, right in the crease, and cleared out of there by the Tigers. Now it'll come back to Jackson Brewer. He puts a shot on. Puck into the near side corner. McDonald there, Brushert there, battling. Brewer steps down, and the Tigers will skate away. Seth Scholl plays the puck to the middle of the ice, and puck chipped out. Now the Tigers are going to try and shoot it back in. Peterson gets a stick on it, and that'll finally be shot in by Sam McGill. Jackson Brewer behind his own net. Spins off a check from Scholl. Played to Lopez. He's going to take the puck back around the net. He's got some room now to skate. Cuts back through the middle of the ice. Turns the puck over on a good stick check. Controlled by McDonald. He gets the puck up to Matthew Peterson, and he's able to finally chip it in. And we'll get a change out of both teams. Alve hanging out in neutral ice as you see that high man for the Tigers. And Ekman watched him the whole way and was able to turn him over. Easton Neppel back the other way. Tries to step through Brewer, and he has other ideas. Or excuse me, Brewer. And now he has the puck. Again, walks over the line. He's got Ekman beat wide. Centering attempt. Casey Alve going to the net hard. He blew a tire. But he had a step, and he was open as he's got the puck now. Tries to throw it up to the line. That'll send the Tigers all the way back to their own end. Sternhagen over the line for the Tigers. Kicks it outside. Shot. Goes high and wide. That was a missile. Gilbertson just had the glove up, and I think he had the net covered, but that was a nice shot from the Tigers. As the breakout pass, it's going to go all the way down for an icing. And the Blades third line will come back out. Blades third line looking pretty good tonight. The goal scorers for the Blades.
Yeah, I think consistently we see that most games because, again, one of the unique things about the squad is the depth that we have. We don't necessarily always have the high-end talent, but we got a lot of guys that can skate and move and play.
Fires, picks up his rebound, or his pass attempt that was broken up, fired wide. It looks like it was Sternhagen who got a stick on it in the crease. And again, just kind of some, I don't know if I'd say sloppy play, but almost, it's like the Blades are kind of checked out at times, kind of watching the play happen a little bit to them.
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly well defended, but he didn't get the stick of the forward right there, obviously. You want to get that stick lift on that play if you can. Well, otherwise it ends up in the back of the net.
So Bruce factored into at least 3 of the 4 goals for the Tigers, and he plays a lot of minutes. And he's kind of everywhere on the ice. There's a big collision between Mike Peterson and Seth Scholl behind the play. Scholl's going to go to the bench. Now some men down behind the net. Looks like it was Luke Craig. As we see Spinks up the ice in a foot race. And that'll be controlled by the Tigers. They'll round the net, look to start the play. And away they come. Over the red, that's dumped in. Akron will be the first man there for the Blades. He controls, reverses ice. That's going to come to Spinks. Spinks is going to chip back to the middle for Hoffman. He takes a big hit but makes the play, and he gets it to Ekron. Ekron turns and fires. Shot on by Lopez. And that goes wide. And now it comes back to him in the behind the net. He skates, spins off a check. Stutter step, centering attempt to Brushert, turns and fires on the backhand. That goes wide. Another centering attempt from McDonald to Brushert, and Brushert battling out front with number 4 and Nate Hurd, doing a good job of getting his stick tied up, although he did get a couple of looks on the net. Hansen there to close the pillows up to keep the puck out of the net.
Yeah, nice answer there. You know, obviously with the Blades giving up that goal right there, come back and be able to get a nice little in tight looks there. Half inch, couple inches, one way or the other, you probably see 5-hole in that thing.
That'll be shut out of play by Peterson. Yeah, the Blades playing with the Tigers, just getting outscored.
Yeah, it's just opportunistic right there. I mean, transitions, a couple of misplays by us, and they're able to just to score when we don't make the play.
Explanation for Coach Wertzema.
Can clearly see why these guys skated to a 5-4 game with Laverne.
I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe short a puck. Nope, we got a puck. I'm not sure what the deal is. All right, here we go. Brushert's going to lose the draw. It'll be controlled by Jacobson at center ice for the Blades. He gives it off to his D partner.
It looks like maybe Luke's getting looked at by the trainer.
Okay. So yeah, Luke was tangled up behind the net, and so needs some medical attention. Centering attempt. Good stick by Aiden Jacobson to break up Colker's shot attempt. Now the Tigers are going to control in the Blades zone. Down the wall to Sternhagen. He's checked by Brushert. Played into the corner. Jacobson's going to rim it around. That'll come to her at the line. He holds. Back into the corner. Olve takes the puck off of Lopez. Now he gets it right back again. Has some trouble. Spins. Spins again. Off a Sternhagen check. He has McDonald up ice. Skates by Olve. Gets the Tiger line. Stops. Centering attempt. Brushert was just a step behind. Now it's played to the line. Ekron with the puck. Gets himself into trouble. Sternhagen's all alone. I'm not sure where Peterson was. As there was a 1-on-0, now a 2-on-1 as Peterson got back in time. And the Tigers don't get much out of that break. As now it's McDonald and Ritter up the ice. McDonald takes the puck wide. Dumps it behind the net for Ritter and then goes for a change. Puck played by her of the Tigers. Goes back across the ice to Alve. Kicks it to his stick. He's got Sternhagen coming through the middle and blowing down as Sternhagen was in just a step early.
Yeah, just a couple of things that I think the Blades correct. You got Charlie Ekron there on the wall. Makes a play there, but then he doesn't get it deep. He gives it right back to him. Kai McDonald goes for the change. You need to get off the ice, but if you're going to rim that thing, get it to your weak side guy there. A couple of those things they change up, and they're going to make their lives a lot easier, I think.
I'd like to see 10 take the puck to the net.
That too. I mean, like, go take a shot. You got a guy coming with you. You don't need to go all the way to the net, but get it so you can get that weak side post for a rebound for the other guy driving the net.
Yeah.
Then you go for a change.
Puck played up to the line. Zayden Brewer shoots it back behind the Blades net where Casti will take his man to the wall. Controlled by the Tigers. They bring it up the half wall. Now comes right to Casti. He sends it around for Ritter. Brewer on a good pinch. Sends it back down low to Casti. Hoffman corrals it. Starts up ice. Comes through middle. Shoots the puck in. Dump was deflected. He goes in on the forecheck. And Neppel's going to come away with the puck. Now Hoffman retreats to the line. And Ritter will come down to help. Puck played through Hoffman and will be chased by Drew Alve. Puck played up to Neppel at neutral ice. Rink wide pass for Peterson is broken up nicely by Zayden Brua. And now he'll stay up ice as the Tigers take the puck over the line. Stop here on the half wall, defended by Casti. Neppel clears the puck. And some back and forth to neutral. Now the puck squirts over to Spinks, fresh off the bench. He's over the line, kicks out for Peterson with a good shot, and a nice save by Hansen. On the Blades' best look in a little while here. Peterson behind his own net with the puck. Starts the breakout, passes to his brother, looks to go rink wide. That's going to be off the wall for Spinks. Behind him, stops, shoots it in, and Jack Ekron will go there head-to-head against Brua. Puck comes to Peterson. He shoots it into the near side corner. Puck is scrummed there and shot around by the Tigers. Ekron takes his man hard into the wall. Centering attempt comes right to Peterson. Corrals fires. Hansen with a nice save.
Yeah.
Off a couple good looks by the Blades.
Couple nice looks that shift for the Blades goal scorer already this game. And Mikey Peterson, of all the guys on the team, you want him on with the puck on his stick in that spot. He's historically scored from those areas.
Puck controlled by the Tigers off the face-off. Brewer breaks up the zone exit, and the Blades will shoot the puck back in. Lopez knocks his man down. Centering attempt from McDonald to Brushert, and another big save by Hansen. And we'll get an icing call. Good forecheck from Lopez, McDonald, and then Brushert with the Johnny on the spot in the front of the net there. Big pad save by Hansen to keep it a one-goal game.
I think if Brushert could have that back, he would just hold on to that thing and come around. He would have had daylight forever going to his left. But here we are, offensive zone. These guys have looked really good. They're playing well from below the goal line, and they're cycling well and getting him out of position.
Puck controlled by the Blades. It's Charlie Ekman at the point. Goes D to D. Hoffman. His shot's deflected off the end glass. Puck behind the net. Be picked up by the Tigers. And Sternhagen comes away. Back to the Tigers. Rush. Big save. Blocker save by Gilbertson. Hoffman takes all the way to the net. Polka centers. Comes all the way up high. Shot goes wide. And the Blades will come away with it. Lopez over the line, has McDonald driving, takes it out wide, fires right into the Tiger logo of Owen Hansen.
Yeah, we're going to want to see a little bit better placement shot than right in the goalie's chest, but nice idea. We had Kai going to the net. We needed that, backed up the defense so Jackson can come into a spot where he can put a shot on net. Nice little rush there.
It's nice to see the Blades generate some offense.
Yeah. But it's been several games since we've outscored or outshot somebody. So this is, in and of itself, that's a positive thing.
Casti wins it back to Brewer. Brewer fires. And the Tigers have been getting in shot lanes today.
Yeah, they're going to want to watch that as this game progresses.
Peterson flips it to Ritter. He knocks it down, skates, passes to Neppel. Neppel tries to beat his man. That's Aiden Brua. He knocks the puck off the stick, plays it into the corner, and he'll hard rim it around to another Tiger. Comes back to Neppel, behind the net, now back to Brua. Fakes a clapper around the wall and starts out with it. Some back and forth. Now the Blades will get it in while they're in the midst of a change. And Cam Spinks off the bench, forces the puck behind the Tiger net. Brua with it. High stick, but it'll be played by the Tigers, so that'll be negated. And they're over the line. Shot on. Gilbertson handles that. Akron, rink wide. Blades have 3-2 if they hurry. Offside, though.
Just a little too anxious there to get over the line.
Yeah, as you see, Cam Spinks on the near side here just couldn't drag the leg as Peterson was shooting the puck as the whistle was blown. Brewer took offense to that.
Yeah, I think that's the scenario you wanted right there, because I think the Albert Lea defenseman would have been flat-footed there, and we had 3 guys coming up with speed. They could have gotten in tight. That could have been a dangerous play for the Blades.
So it's Brownlee, Scholl, and McGill on the ice for the Tigers against the Blades' top unit of Brushert, McDonald, and Lopez. McDonald with the puck. Spins off a check and dumps it down, but it's controlled by the Tigers. Zayden Brewer with the puck, steps out from behind his own net. As we see a pick play occur as Hoffman was knocked down behind the net, and that's McGill, Sam McGill. I don't know if he unintentionally was coming through the middle of the ice and hit Hoffman, or if he intentionally tried to pick him. Either way, Hoffman got knocked down, and McGill's going to go to the box. We'll hope the Blades have a little bit better success on this power play than they did their first one.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to end this period here only down by 2, give some life here for the BW Blades.
Brewer behind his net, harassed by McDonald, turns him over. Puck to the line. Lopez. Peterson. Neppel has trouble with it, and it's played low. Comes all the way around. Casti rims it to the blue line. Back down to Casti in the corner. Back to Lopez up top. Stutter step. Casti's getting abused over there by Brewer. Back across to the line. Shot to goal.
Beautiful
Lopez
shot.
has a look from the top, as I believe it was Neppel who fired it up to him. As Casti got absolutely manhandled by Brewer over there in the corner well after the play. And he was kind of outside the window there, not in front, and Lopez had a clean shooting look.
Yeah, I don't think PKs are typically where you want to finish your check down in the corner, and that might be the reason why. But, yeah, nice look there by Jackson. He had his eyes up the whole way, and I think he saw a screen there, and he just picked his corner. And the goalie, I don't think, saw it come in. He didn't really react to the shot. So, nice shot by Jackson Lopez.
Well, that one didn't hit Owen Hansen in the chest. Didn't hit him at all. It only hit the twine. Big hit by Brushert. And Sternhagen's going to fire it in. Casey Alvey comes together with Hoffman. He saw him coming and kind of played the reverse hit. And Hoffman's going to go now. He's going to take his turn in the box. There's an undisciplined penalty behind the play. I'm not entirely sure what happened.
Yeah, I think you want to stay away from this. I think these guys like to talk a little bit, and I think they like to give you that extra stick tap in the shins. It's not worth it right now, especially when you got momentum coming back. But this is our first look at their power play at this point in time, right?
Yeah, I would think you wouldn't want to take an undisciplined penalties. We've seen that cost the Blades multiple times this year. And with 2 minutes to go here in the second, the Tigers are going to go on the power play.
Good sign we have Luke Craig back out on the ice. He got some work there by the trainer in the penalty box there, and looks like he's able to play.
Brewer with the puck, comes off his stick, gets it back, stutter step, and they're going to have to play him tight as he gets a look. He can be dangerous. Tries the center. Luke Craig breaks that up. Now to Kolker. Plays it high. Zayden Brewer back to the middle. Alvey winds, fires, hits Kolker right in the shin pads, right in the middle. As it looks like they're set up in a 1-3-1 and look. Shot in on Gilbertson. He steers that away. And that'll be cleared out.
Nets off.
Yeah.
You'd think they wouldn't blow it dead
it's
on
off
it.
by an inch. Push it back on, buddy. We cleared the puck, and now we got a D-zone face-off. I mean,
I think we talked about this yesterday.
If anything, that should be a neutral ice draw.
We weren't on the air yesterday, but it was brought up here on this platform yesterday why they were blowing that dead right there.
You could easily just skate behind the net and push it on.
Yep.
So offensive zone draw, fired by Alvey off the one time from the Sternhagen pass. Brewer down behind the net. Thinking about going to Kolka. Now he's going to retreat. Tries the walkout. It's going to step around, looking for an opening. There's nothing there. Goes far side. Sternhagen with the puck. Works it up high. Back down in the circle. Olve with the puck. Turns, fires. Big stick save by Gilbertson as that came through a screen. And that'll be played around with about a minute to go. Ekron gets it out. Comes to McDonald to one-on-one with Brua. Cuts to the inside. Retreats. Dumped down by Ekron. Be controlled behind the net by Sternhagen. McDonald still harassing the puck. Now he's on Alve. Strips the puck off of him. Finally, he'll lead for Brua, and the Tigers will start out from their own zone. McDonald breaks up the clearing attempt. Now Brusher on it. Now comes to McDonald. It's in his skates, dumps it down. 20 seconds to go in the period, and the Blades PK is giving the Tigers some trouble. Now Brusher, 2-on-1 in the corner, ties it up for a moment. Kolka skates away with it. He tries to go rink wide and misses his man, and that'll go for an ice with 11 seconds to go. So nice PK from the Blades here.
Nice job, Kai, working hard, doing the gritty stuff. Way to get the zone. Charlie Ekron just wisely chips it down, and Kai McDonald gets to work and basically about killed that thing out. Now we get an offensive zone draw with 11 seconds left.
Well, hopefully Blades can close this out and get a little bit of momentum off of this PK. Brua, big read by Matthew Peterson, steps up, 2 to go. He's got to shoot, fires. Hansen controls that, and that'll do it. There'll be 4 seconds to go here on the power play as we enter the third period. So a good period from the Blades. Again, about like the first, strong play, maybe controlled the play, except for a couple small moments where they broke down and the puck found at the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the plays that they did, maybe not get a lift stick or something like that. And, kudos to Albert Lea for being in the spot and getting their stick hard on the ice and tipping that play in. Again, I think that's why they are having the season that they're having and, able to compete against higher level teams. You can see why it ended up why it was 6-1 last night against Fergus, the way these guys play and they can finish and when they're given the opportunity.
Albert Lea to me looks like they're just kind of having fun.
Yeah.
They don't have a ton of structure. I mean, and getting control of it in the offensive zone and kind of buzzing around and trying to find that guy back door and just kind of having fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As opposed to, say, trying to manufacture offense, which is kind of what you're seeing out of the Blades, where they're kind of playing hockey where it's maybe not so much fun.
Yeah, well, depends on who you're talking to, right? You're an old school guy like you, that's probably a lot of fun, right? But the creative guys, they want...
Well, as we're into the second intermission, we have a real treat for the audience here, as we are joined by Fergus Falls head coach Mike Donahue.
We're not used to this good technology around here.
Well, welcome in. What are your thoughts on the tournament so far?
Good, except for the Otters last night. But high school kids, that's the way some games go at times, but play the games, lessons learned, hopefully. But just looking at the tournament field coming in, I was hoping for a really super competitive tournament, just looking at the teams last year and had a chance to see Shanley earlier this year, and I think it's living up to the billing.
Yeah, Justin and I, before you got on, we were talking about, I think in the first period, just what a fun tournament this Fergus does a good job of hosting, again, providing food for the boys after the game, and it's kind of fun to play 3-3, especially when you're playing in the
backbone of this whole thing. Parents volunteer all their time, running the clock, running music, setting up food, manning doors, doing all the behind-the-scenes work, and it wouldn't happen without some of them taking off work to be able to come and do this and hopefully put on a good show. And from sounds of talking to you guys and everyone else, it sounds like it's going over well.
Good. I would agree. I think just a comment, yes, it takes a village, right, to run a tournament, a program, all that other stuff, the Maroon and Gold Club. The concessions here are top-notch. Fergus Falls concession game is really good. So kudos to those guys. And it's an army. I went and ordered some food yesterday, and it was like a short line going back there, and they were hollering up for this, up for that. It was a great deal. So if you get a chance to come to Fergus Falls, do it. You'll be treated really well.
I guess the other one for you, Justin, is I know we've spent a lot of time fall hockey talking about ice maintenance and sand driver. What's your evaluation there?
You know what? It looked good. It looked fast, so that's good.
I thought it was colder in here yesterday than it traditionally has been.
Yes.
Sometimes this could be a bit of a warm barn. But the ice looks great.
Yep. I guess I didn't ask Bob last night to see what his opinion of it, but my opinion is it looks good. And yeah, we did have quite a few. Well, they gave us reasons to talk about that in that fall hockey, but yeah, there was some pretty poor ice maintenance out there.
Questionable.
Yeah, questionable. So you guys saw Albert Lea last night. These guys are as advertised, from what I can see. They got a top unit that can finish.
That top line's really good. Just had a chance to watch them a couple times on film, and we could see what they could do. The 14, pretty dynamic D with his size and his speed and his vision back there. I could see on film that he was good, but when you see him in person, I think you can really appreciate what he brings to the game and to their back end.
Yeah, he almost plays like a rover position. He's kind of all over the ice. As he jumped up on that shorthanded goal. Really, you don't see a defenseman usually jump up on the PK like that, but he just kind of stepped up in the neutral zone and just kept going with the puck all the way to the net. So, he's been exciting to watch. What do you think? What are you looking to see out of your club tonight from Shanley?
Hopefully a rebound. I thought we were playing some pretty good hockey up to that time, and 2 weeks off, and we've got kids on vacation, and you've got kids taking days off for family Christmases, and you got kids running down to the World Junior Tournament, and there's just a lot of, I think, distractions. And we've seen it before. First game of a holiday tournament, we've had other teams come in, and they've laid an egg too. So they're kids. The good thing about them is their short-term memory loss. They don't remember things too long, and they're way more resilient than us adults are. We certainly know that, and hopefully we can have a good rebound game today, this afternoon, and we're going to see a couple more dynamic defensemen, I think, from Shanley today as well. Yeah, you guys saw them yesterday.
Yeah, they can really wheel. And I thought their transition game yesterday was tough for us to handle. And when they get space in the neutral zone, their D were skating the puck up the ice pretty rapidly.
Yeah, highly skilled on the back end for Shanley. So that's how they want to start their offense. They're going to start from the back end and try to gain zones using their D guys and generate offense. It's going to be a great match tonight, I think, for Fergus Falls and Shanley. For you guys saw each other in the preseason, so you kind of know each other already.
That was a lot of times ago, and those scrimmages are always so much different than a real game situation, and guys getting their feet wet, and the intensity is so much different at this time of year. So. We need to work on scoring goals. I keep trying to tell our guy we're 2.5 goals a game this year, or probably under after yesterday, and we're not going to win many games with that. So it's something that we just are continuing to stress, and hopefully can work on and find our guys to get to some areas on the ice. And that's the other thing when you sit and watch Albert Lea, the way they go to that back door, and they all have sticks on the ice, and they're firing pucks off that back post, and they make it hard to defend. The way they attack that net. And I think those are some things that, watching film, I know that we can learn as well from other teams.
Yeah, we saw that here tonight already, or this afternoon, where it was that exact same play, and it was just they just knew where each other were at. I don't think that guy even looked. He just threw it at that far post, and he had a heavy stick in front of the net, and deflection in.
Yep, so good style of hockey.
Yep. So your guys' squad, let's talk a little bit about that. I was talking to you and a few other of your cast members up here yesterday up on this perch when we couldn't broadcast, and it sounds like your guys' starting unit are all either underclassmen or not seniors, and we talked about the dynamic because our squad went through that, and as much as we'd like to think that talent is talent, there is some maturity factors and lack of consistency and things like that.
Yeah, and I think last night when you talk about even those things with our young guys, look at the details.
Sure.
Give up 2 face-off goals that were just complete detail breakdowns. Play with your structure, play with your details, and you try to cheat a little bit. And probably at youth hockey, you can get away with cheating a little bit more. But you're playing some high skill. You're watching those guys right now, and against some upperclassmen, and you give them a little bit of ice and a little bit of that extra time, they're going to make those plays on you. So. That's a big learning curve, and I know we talked yesterday. It's hard to learn to win.
Yeah,
it's easy to lose. I could have chipped that puck out. I could have maybe I could have forechecked a little harder and finished my hit, but it didn't happen. Well, what happened is the other team got the puck out, or we forced an icing, lose a O-zone face-off, and now the puck's in the back of your net. That's all those little detail things that, those young guys need to understand how they add up at the end of the game.
Yeah, they pile up, and that's what gets you in trouble. You can maybe miss 1 or 2, but when you start doing 3 or 4 or 5, and it is that consistency thing because, okay, I got away with it there. Then you keep on going back to that well, that's when you get burned. Yeah,
absolutely. It's just cheating the game. You got to try to play within your structure and play that right way the whole time.
Yeah, I would agree. Any thoughts from you on the section this year and kind of how things are shaking out so far?
Well, I don't know how you're going to slow down Sartell. You look at how they just keep going, and they got quite a crew. Ryan does a great job. You talk about a transition team. We'll see them here in a couple weeks, I think, and the way they get through the neutral zone and make plays. And
my thoughts and prayers will be with you.
And then we get Northern Lakes. We get a week of practice on Northern Lakes, so we'll get a chance to see them. And I know they kind of dismantled Little Falls there before we had played Little Falls. And just talking to their crew, it was one of those nights where everything that could go right for a team went right, and everything that could go wrong can go wrong. And we've been all a part of that. So it's so hard to scoreboard watch. They're all kids. They show up at different times, and teams match up. Been doing it long enough. They match up so differently against other teams too.
Yeah.
It's so you never know.
You can drive yourself crazy doing that. It's better off not to. I go through Legacy hockey at night, and I just kind of see it, and I'm like, holy cow, Bob, did you see this score?
You just marvel.
But you just marvel, right? It's like, that shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Yep. Yeah, for whatever reason. So
I think, Sartell, a heavy favorite even to be a state champion this year. And all the talks around there. I don't know. Like, there are some really good teams. They've lost 2 now, I think. But they came out just pummeling everybody.
Yeah. So they've run in that predominantly AA schedule. Just with that's how it was set up coming into the year. And I don't know. We'll have to get a hot goalie and chip a couple in, and you never know what can happen.
That's true. You never know. Yeah.
It can be a mean game 2, like
right?
that. It can be a mean game. You get a good pitcher in baseball. You get a goalie in hockey, and give yourself a chance every night.
Well, I think a couple years ago, you had Morris. I think it was like 2-0 going in the third against Alex, and and it was just that clog up the middle of the ice and good goaltending, and they're just 2 loose pucks away from tying the game or winning. And that's just crazy and mind-boggling to me, but you're right. That's all you need to really do.
Get the commitment from those kids that this is what we need to do to win the hockey game tonight, and see what they can do from there.
They all put their skates on just like everybody else, right?
That's right.
Well, Mike, we appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for having me on. It's sure fun. I know even just sitting down there after the game yesterday and all the boys that our kids used to play with and playing together, and all those guys are so fun to see again and stop and say hi and have a little chat on their way out the door. So it always brings back a lot of good memories playing up at the deck, I think, winning a little championship with the Bandits.
There's some stories from that one, right? Yeah, that was a heck of a tournament for you guys. You guys beat who?
We got beat about 8-1 that morning by the same team.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday night. Let's just lose and go home. Yep.
That would have been the smart thing to do.
Too stubborn, aren't we?
That's right. Yeah, the boys, come together. Like you said, it's fun. Even the refereeing. You got an alumni refereeing out here with Rhino.
Yeah, Ryan does a good job out there lining. So he's just talked to his dad at the store, and he's doing a ton of games. And Little Connecticut's pretty funny. My wife was talking to him. He's going up to Bemidji State golfing, and my wife says, "So where are you living?" And he rolls out this address. She says, "That's the house I lived in college."
Really? Wow.
And then he says, "Well, yeah, we're moving. We're just down the street a little bit." She says, "Well, what's that address?" "Well, that's the other house I lived in." But that house has a few stories after over 20 years.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, I'm sure.
Close to campus. Yeah, I bet.
So good times.
Yes, awesome. Well, awesome, Mike. Appreciate it.
Tell Brandy hi from us.
All right, sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, well, second period action just about getting underway here. Both teams back on the ice. Blade's got 4 seconds of penalty to kill off, and hopefully, like we mentioned earlier, they could be back to full strength and get a little bit of momentum off of this PK.
Yeah, every single time they seem to have something going their direction, and Albert Lea makes one quick play to the net, and and they seem to be very, very opportunistic on finishing those opportunities.
Well, again, we thank head coach of the boys Fergus team, Mike Donahue, for joining us during the break. And it's always good to get his insight on the way he sees the game, as well as some of the happenings around the section.
He's one of the longest tenured boys high school coaches in Minnesota. Like, he's been coaching in Ferguson 20 years, and that doesn't happen very often anymore.
No, that's a rarity. I believe it's 22 years this year for Coach Donahue. So, all right, well, back under action. Jackson Brewer is going to throw the puck back to neutral, and that'll do it as Zayden Brewer with the puck. And tip play goes awry, and that goes up into the crowd here.
Yeah, as I was texting Donahue yesterday to see if he'd come on the live stream as we were trying to get all the technical sides figured out. He asked why did Shanley come off the ice right away when they got on the ice, and I just said, well, I don't know. I think maybe there's a team brawl down the tunnel.
Did we ever get an answer? I think they just came out too early, I think. And
probably just came out too early.
Yeah. As we see Ritter control puck at neutral ice, dump it in. That's right on the stick as Zayden Brewer. He's going to spin off a Cassidy's check, start back through the neutral zone. Leaves at the line, misses Sternhagen on a passing attempt, and the Blades will control behind their own net. Puck played to Ritter. Back up to neutral. That's off of Cassidy's stick. And Blades will finally corral it and get it chipped in. The Tigers will regroup in their own zone. Played up to the line, chipped in by Casey Alve before he goes for a change. Sternhagen controls, wins the battle. Centering attempt, and that gets through the Tiger forward going to the net. And Albert Lea regroups in their own end. Brewer spins. Headmans the pass. That's a neutral. Sternhagen dumps. That's off of Ekron's glove. Corralled now by Piercig, who took Ekron into the end wall. Now Hoffman with the puck. Works his way back through the middle. Dumps it in. He's going to win the race to the puck. Nice effort by Hoffman. He steers it around. Piercig there for the Tigers. And it's shot back in by the Blades. Now chipped up to the line. In the feet of a Tiger forward. And puck turned over. Now Tyler Balfe with the puck in his own end for the Tigers. Chipped around. McDonald with it. Centers. Right off the stick of Hoffman. Shot and a goal.
Beautiful.
This is a good forecheck by Lopez. Leads to a turnover where McDonald corralled it behind the net. Found Hoffman streaking down off the blue line, and it's a one-goal game.
Nice timing play by Hoffman. Doesn't get down there too early. Kai was able to find him. You could hear him through the headset calling for it. But nice job for Kai to find him there, and nice finish by Josh Hoffman.
So exactly what the Blades needed, a little momentum off the PK, back to work on the forecheck, a turnover, a center attempt, and a goal. And it's a one-goal hockey game all of a sudden. As the Blades will dump it in, and Ritter and Neppel will come down. One pass will beat both of them, and away come the Tigers. Backhand flip broken up by Brewer near the Blades line, and the Blades come away with it. Ritter dumps it in. He's held up briefly, and the Tigers control the puck in their own end. Again, flipped out, shot on. Would have been offside. Zayden Brewer with the puck. Works it up to his winger. Blades doing a good job of bottling up Albert Lea in their own end a little bit at times.
Yeah, it looks like they're getting a little bit more passive on their forecheck where they're like, hey, you should be going right now. But what's happening, I think, is they're taking away all their pass options.
Almost look like they're doing a wing lock.
Yeah. So it's causing them some fits right now. And they can't get anything going up the ice.
Offensive zone draw. Ekron scrums the puck. Now it's played into the corner. Shot around by Brewer. That'll come to Sternhagen. A pinching Jackson Brewer steps down on him, and he's forced to turn the puck over where Peterson will have it in his own end. Played off the wall to Spinks. He chips it by Brewer. Sternhagen will be back for the Tigers. He kicks it back up the wall to Brewer. He's got some room. Now he comes back across the ice. Albert Lea over the Blades line. Out wide, looking to center. Spins off with Hoffman check. Hauser again with the puck. Spins off Hoffman again. Controlling. Now he leaves for Sternhagen. Sternhagen. Headlock on one of the Blades players. That's Peterson. They're tied up. Centering attempt. McDonald comes down to help. Ekman was there as well. And that's played up to the line. Olve with the puck. Fires right into Gilbertson's chest. As Sternhagen and Brewer are going to the net for the Tigers.
Yeah, as we progress right here, just not a lot of shots on goal for either team. Typically, you'd see a little bit more on net than this point in the game. A lot of goals for a minimal amount of shots on goal, too.
Mm-hmm. And all of them have really been high-quality looks. There hasn't really been any bad goals by either goaltender. Maybe the one that went off of Hauser's pad, or excuse me, Hansen's pad. But, you know, even there, it's still not like it was shot from, you know, center ice or something. So, yeah, just high-quality looks for both teams so far. So you see the Blades in their own end. Hoffman tries to chip it. Centering attempt. Onto the stick of Sternhagen. He spins. Tries to come off the wall. It's got a step. No opening. Drop pass onto Brewer, but Lopez was right there to break that up and force Brewer back into his own end. He's going to chase him all the way around behind his own net. Long pass. That'll go for an ice. As you can see, when the Tigers get in their own end, the Blades kind of lock them down. That's their only option, is a hard shot off the glass or a flip play. And if it doesn't connect, it's usually going for an ice.
Well, and it's just a reset play right here for the Blades. You know, at some point in time, you'd like to see him capitalize on a draw here where maybe score and or create a lot more offense off these offensive zone draws.
Just like Coach Donahue was saying, these can catch up with you. And there's a good example as the Blades now have control in the in zone. Shot on, that goes wide by Brewer. Controlled by Neppel. He dumps back down. Casty. It's locked up in the corner. Centering attempt. Well defended by the Tigers, and they'll skate away with it. Puck chipped in past Brewer. That's Styler. Centers to Pursig. That's broken up. Matt Peterson with the puck for the Blades. Rink wide, just out of the reach of Ritter. He'll get to it, though. Inside the line. Tries to step through a Tiger defender. He gets turned over. Puck shot through Pursig to the line. Held in. And shot back into the corner. Brewer with a nice play to hold the puck in at the line. Shot comes all the way back around. And through everybody. Again, flipped down to Casty. He's out of the corner with it. Centering attempt. Broken up by the Tigers as Lopez was there. As he's puts a hit on Pursig before he's able to clear it into the Blade zone. Now Peterson with the puck. He's going to keep it. Makes two-man miss. Over the Tiger line. Going to chip in low. That's controlled by Brewer. And puck played back down in for Lopez. Gets through him. It's him and Brewer do battle. Big hit from Brusher to turn the puck out over low. Now it comes to Lopez. He's got McDonald streaking to the net. Plays it high. Hoffman fans on it. And it's shot down. That'll come right in on Gilbertson. He's going to play it to the corner for Hoffman. He's got a player all over him. He coughs it up. And that'll come to Scholl of the Tigers. He loses it to Hoffman. And he leaves it for Brusher, who gets the puck to...
I don't think it crossed the line.
I don't think it crossed the line either.
Maybe.
He got it to Lopez, who was playing the puck with his feet inside the line, but the puck didn't cross the line. Maybe it just has to touch. I think the offside line, I believe, is the line of the blue line closest to the edge closest to the neutral zone, so not maybe you touch that edge. So face off, we'll see the Blades shoot it in to the Tiger zone. Neppel there for the Blades. Sternhagen now chips to neutral. Turned over by the Blades defense. Played with a high stick. And nobody wants to touch it. And finally, they'll just blow it down.
You gotta do it center ice face off now?
I'm not sure how that face-off position works, but so puck was blown dead. As if Blades would have played it, would have been a high stick, and Tigers would have played it, would have negated it, so they just kind of let it go. And we'll start again. Kolker with a head of steam. Got Hoffman wide. Hoffman forces him into the corner. He's going to round the net. Look to center. Alve was there for the Tigers. He regains control and shoots wide. Play was defended well by the Blades. Now Sternhagen and Casti come together in the corner. Puck's left there for Alve.
Oh boy.
Big hook. So bad he lost his stick. They're not going to call it. Neppel has trouble at neutral ice. Casti walks through Kolker before he's turned over. It's a 2-on-1 if they hurry, but Blades get back. Now Peterson in his own end. Has some trouble, takes a hit. Puck gets played to Casti. He's over the line. Open, has a look. Shot just goes wide. Peterson on the ice now for the Blades. Michael, that is. Puck flipped into Casti. Here's Peterson going to the net. Centers off the side of the net. Could have been trouble. Pinched by Matthew Peterson. Shot. That goes wide. Casti plays it back to Matthew Peterson. He's got a step. Plays it up to the line. Brewer goes wide. Michael Peterson shot.
There it is.
Puck laying in the crease before it's cleared out of there. And Mike Peterson will go back for the Blades as the Tigers needed a change. Now he starts to play. Back up to Jack Ekron. He's going to turn and backhand it in. Spinks there for the Blades. Nifty play by the Tiger defense to get the puck up to neutral, or to the line, but not out. Controlled by Ekron. His centering attempt goes nowhere. Comes back to him. Leaves for Spinks. Lopez there for the Blades. Controlled by the Tigers behind their own net. D to D. Spinks breaks up the D to D pass. Plays it to Lopez. Comes around the net. Spins off a check. Looking for room. Looking for an opening. Comes back across to Matt Peterson. He fires. That's steered to the glass by Hansen. Puck is shot to the line, but not out. Good hold. Matthew Peterson shot on. That's deflected by Nate Herr. Played behind the net. Herr has trouble, falls down. Lopez falls over the top of him. And Albert Lea is going to finally ice as the Blades are all over them with 7:42 to go here in the third period.
Oh, that was great zone time there. You can see that.
Blades working hard, and they're applauded by the fans.
Yeah, the fans are letting them know they like what they're seeing there.
Blades generally running three lines most of the time here, consistently, and I think you're seeing Albert Lea probably just leaning pretty heavily on their top two lines, and not maybe starting to catch up with them here, although they still have plenty of jump. But when you're in the D zone, that's hard work. Good stick by Charlie Ekron to avoid a 3-2 rush as Zayden Brua was coming up the ice looking to get in the rush. He logs a lot of minutes, but he's still got some gas in the tank. Puck played back to neutral ice. That'll be Drew Alve. He goes by Ekron, spins off, has a step, center attempt, shot right on. Gilbertson's got it, and he's going to freeze it down. And that's 13, Ethan Brawley with the shot right from the middle. It's a good look for the Tigers to answer.
Yeah, good. It was nice to see Kale get a little bit of rubber there. Sometimes in the plays down the other end, you can get a little bit of cold there, and he was on top of the task there.
So Kolker, Alve, and Sternhagen out for the Tigers. Centering attempt goes off the side of the net. Now the Blades come away with it. Pass gets through McDonald. He has some trouble at neutral ice. Blades are able to corral it and get the puck into the Tiger zone. And Hoffman had pinched. He's able to get back. He comes back hard on Sternhagen. The good stick check where he's taken into the wall. Now Kolker has trouble with it, and he kicks it back to Zayden Brua at neutral ice. He was able to shoot it in. And now the puck will be played back out to neutral, where it's controlled by Ethan Hauser of the Tigers. Now Brua has room. He's going to get the line. Tries to step through Lopez. He knocks it down. Soft chip to the far side. That doesn't go anywhere. And now puck comes back to Neppel. He's knocked down by Brua coming through the neutral zone. Puck into the line. Inside the line by Lopez. His centering attempt doesn't go anywhere either. Some back and forth play before it's finally dumped in by Jackson Brewer. Casti behind the net. Good stick check. Turns the puck over temporarily. Sternhagen has trouble. He's boarded by Easton Neppel. Neppel back to Casti behind the net. Spins back to Neppel. Looks to walk out. Good stick check from Hauser. Take the puck off of Neppel. Sternhagen reverses ice. Right into pressure. He's able to get it up ice. Soft chip for Alve. Still comes to him, but he was offside.
Yeah, that little touch there by Matt Peterson on that puck just slows it down a bit and kicks his timing off on that zone entry. I gotta watch that guy right there.
Alve's looking to get behind the defense all the time here. Looks like Albert Lee's going to take a timeout. There's 5:32 to go. Looked like they had maybe some tired players over on their side of the ice here.
Yeah, that's probably a smart play by them. You could just see their last couple of shifts, if it continues on that way, something's going to pop in for the Blades, and I don't think they want to get down into a 4-4 game here down the stretch the way the game's been playing out.
So if you're the Blades here, 5:32 to go, I'm assuming you're just going to try to keep the foot on the gas here and hopefully try to get this thing tied before you have to pull your goalie.
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately you got probably 3.5 minutes here to try to put one home. Maybe you shorten the bench a bit, but the third line has a goal already to this game, and they're not playing bad at all.
No, I think all three really be tough to kind of pick a top line for the Blades at this point.
Right.
All three lines look balanced. They all contributing. They're all, they all bring the same kind of energy. It's kind of an advantage that Coach Wurtsema has is it doesn't really matter which line he's putting out. Nobody's a significant liability when they're on the ice. Really, you have three first lines almost at this point.
And I think that's what he's doing. He spreads his scoring through his lines. He doesn't care. He will throw a first line, second line, third line out. And that's where you get, I think, some trouble with, or that's where we can come back at times in the third period because you get these teams that will ride a top line that have a bunch of these scoring guys on there, and they can get gassed here down the stretch.
So it'll be Kolker, Alve, and Sternhagen. Both Sternhagen logging some heavy minutes here down the stretch. Same with Alve. It seems like those guys are almost on the ice consistently. And going kind of, I don't know if there's any one set line here for the Tigers at this point. It seems like they're kind of mixing and matching a little bit down the stretch. Puck held in nicely by Peterson at the line. That's going to come all the way to Neppel. Cycles it down low to Casti. He comes together with Kolker. Good stick check on Neppel. And that'll be tied up on the far side wall. Puck comes loose. Kolker just laying on it, and they're not going to blow it dead. He's not really trying to move it there. Now he kicks it. Now it comes back to Casti. He controls down to Neppel. He spins it into the corner. Kolker puts it on the wall again. He's ground out by Ritter. And again, trying to kind of just hold it there.
That might have been the conversation on the bench there on that timeout is if you can get a chance, just shove that thing between your skate and hold it against the wall and try to kill this thing off.
So he's getting a lecture from the referee there. As again, you have to generally make a concerted effort to move the puck along at some point.
They could get called for a delay of game.
It'd be rare, I believe, to see that. And that dropping the puck with too many men on the ice there. I don't know that they're going to call that. Puck comes over the net right in front as the players were kind of slow to get off the ice. I believe the coach was talking to him for a minute and dropped the puck, came right to him. As we'll see Albert Lea come away with the puck. Shot off of Hoffman. Almost had Gilbertson fooled there. Kind of took a strange bounce. Ended up going wide. Now puck back down on Albert Lee's end. Played around to Brewer. He has trouble with it. He's taken to the wall. Now he chips it up to the wing. McDonald back hard on the puck. Gets it back to Hoffman. Just missed Lopez. He's going to be the first guy there. Spins off a check. Puck up to the line. Hoffman with room, walks down, fires, shot right down, rebound. Brushard had his stick tied up, and that'll go for an icing with 3:24 to go. A good shot there as Hoffman took some ice in front of him, worked it down, fired on. Hansen had trouble with the rebound, but good defensive effort from the Albert Lea defenseman to have Brushard's stick tied up.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you wanted to see right there, just a loose puck in front. Larry could have been just a little bit off or well more positioned. That's probably a scoring opportunity for the Blades.
Sternhagen with a big block on Jackson Brewer as he had a look at the net. Now he takes Peterson
dangerous.
down hard behind the net into the end wall. Cassie gets it to Neppel. He plays it on. Hansen has trouble with it. In the crease. Now to Brewer. Fires. Loose puck. Still loose. Shot on again. Hansen making 2, 3, 4 saves there as he had trouble with the initial tip in by Neppel. And now comes to Neppel behind the net. Skates out looking for room. Stutter step, gets to the middle. Works at the Peterson. Peterson on the half wall. Fires. Tip play by Ritter. Blades control again. Ritter controls, dumps it down for Casti. Spins off a check. Blades in the middle of a change as Spinks is coming off the bench. Funny bounce off the boards. Now played out of there by Albert Lea. Ritter back in. 2:25 to go. Kolker just dumps it into the corner. Albert Lea looks tired. They're going to get it out of the zone. It's not going to go for an ice. As Hoffman's able to play it. 2:15 to go. Shots now 22-17 in favor of the Blades, excuse me. Hoffman, hard rim, comes all the way to Spinks. Kicks it back to Peterson in the middle. Mike Peterson up the ice. Another pick play by Kolker. Peterson takes a big hit by Brewer, excuse me. Puck now to Hoffman. Tip play. Big save by Hansen. The Spinks got a stick on the Hoffman shot. Brewer's going to play it to neutral ice. Controlled by Hoffman. Sternhagen takes the puck off of him. He curls. Looks for Brewer coming down the wall. Gives it to him. Centering attempt is broken up by McDonald. But not before Brewer strips the puck back off of him. Now Alve turns and fires. Gilbertson blockers that aside. 1:16 to go in the game.
Look to pull the goalie here.
Hoffman with the puck. Big hit as him and Olve come together, and he's going to hop off. Now Lopez with the puck. 1 minute to go in the game. Lopez looks to get the line, dumps, takes a hit from Sternhagen. Gilbertson's out of the net. The Blades with the 6-on-5. They can't get control though, as it's played all the way down. That'll go for an ice. Should go. No icing.
That was them that cleared it.
Not sure what happened there. 39 to go. Neppel has trouble. Fired on by Alve, and that goes wide. Now Brewer to Lopez. Lopez spins off a check. Off the wall. We'll get the red. Now he'll get the Tiger line. He's attacking the net. Turns, fires. That's blocked into the corner with 22 seconds to play. Brushard with the puck. Taken off of him. Kolker's going to fire that down. That should go for an ice here. As Brewer and Brushard come together behind the plays.
Couple of captains saying hi to each other.
So 12.1 to go. And the Blades will take their timeout with an empty net.
Well, it's been a hard-fought battle so far. One thing that you can see that Blades are pretty resilient. They first shot of the goal or game went in the net as a goal, and then we're down early 2-0. I think losing 3-0 at one point.
3-0, then 3-1. Yeah,
3-1.
But battling back, and I thought looked stronger and stronger as the game went on, and really in the third period controlling play.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've been on this side. I know because I'm looking at the camera lens on this side because our esteemed cameraman is sitting right to my right, and I can't get around him because I don't want to get in a way of our play-by-play guy. One thing he did mention to me, I believe, looking at the stats, that Kale probably passed, or he did pass the he's the all-time minute guy for the goaltenders in Blades history.
As far as minutes played?
Minutes played, yep.
Not
This
surprising, as it seems like he's been playing goalie since 1976 at this point. Just, yeah, it'll be strange to call a game without Gilbertson between the pipes.
Yeah, yeah.
But hopefully that won't be anytime soon, as he's got just a junior this year, and he's got another year to go. So Blades, 12.1 to go. They'll win the draw. Brewer fires, flubs it in, doesn't quite get there. Controlled, shot by Peterson's blocked, and that'll go out of play with 4.9 to go on the clock. So you're looking for a little bit better of opportunity here, as they didn't quite get a clean look. Cassie will be the one taking the draw for the Blades. Controlled by Albert Lea, and that'll go all the way down for a goal. A shot right on. I think that was Alve. So it looked like the Blades kind of had control to draw briefly. And they'll just
they'll just run it down.
Run the rest of the time down there. So that'll be it. And what was a pretty good game today. Blades, I don't know if they deserve better or not, but they played hard, and like you said, a lot of reasons to be positive as you watch the game today.
Yeah, I mean, you look at what Albert Lea did last night to Fergus Falls, and to come back here, and you know, it was really a 4-3 game, but to go down the stretch there and kind of pin Albert Lea down, I think the confidence that we can kind of see in these guys as this season wears on, to be able to actually play with teams like Albert Lea and be successful. I mean, Shanley set the tone yesterday. Again, I think walking into this tournament, I think Albert Lea was the team to beat. They proved that last night, setting the tone last night, and you know, they'll have Shanley tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly how that game's going to end up, but
yeah, like Mike was saying, they are teenagers. Anything's possible.
Yep.
3 games in 3 days. You don't know. You know, they're not sleeping in their own bed like the other 3 teams are. So you never quite know. But they certainly have some nice players, some dangerous players. Certainly, Zayden Brewer is a heck of a player for them. Logs a lot of minutes, and Olve as well. Sternhagen, I thought, played really well for them as well. So some nice players from Albert Lea. And but I thought the Blades had a lot of reasons to be positive as well. Some strong play out of really all 3 lines there today. And Mike Peterson, I thought, had a really nice game for the Blades. He seemed to be all over the map today, and with looks at the net, and seemed to be factoring in on a lot of the goals.
Yeah, I think our defense, compared to 3-4 games ago as a general whole, is playing a lot better. They're not as porous. They're not giving such clean looks to the net. And again, like the offensive side, you got to love the way that Matt Peterson plays, especially with the offensive upside. He's just, the puck can hit his stick, and it's like attached to it. And his feet are so good that he can buy time and space. Again, like I've thought for years and years, there isn't a better pure skater in our organization than Matt Peterson. Mm-hmm. When you look at when he seems effortlessly, and he just kind of glides around, and he has the hands to boot, and he's really kind of figuring out the D side of stuff too. So really dangerous defenseman, and that's why he played Tier 1 hockey in the fall for Team North Dakota.
Well, JV is just about ready to start here between Fergus and Shanley, and then again that'll be the nightcap tonight. So if you're in town, make sure you come over and catch what'll probably be a pretty good game between 2 good programs. And that's about all we have. We will be back tomorrow at
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock game time. We'll probably be on the air just a bit earlier, hopefully, and for the finale of the Fergus Holiday Tournament between Fergus Falls and Breck Wap. Anything else to add?
No, that should be a good one. If the Blades can play like this tomorrow, I think there's a really good chance they could come out of this tournament 1-1-1, which would be a good thing.
Yeah, it'd be a nice little game on New Year's Eve, and then hopefully they can come away with a win, and we can celebrate. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch up with you tomorrow.